The 2025 Champions Trophy. What a spectacle it promises to be. Or should I say, what a construction site it promises to be. Let's talk about Pakistan's grand preparations. Now, the PCB has been working tirelessly, at least they claim that they're doing so, to renovate all the stadiums. 3 stadiums that will be hosting the games. But let's be honest, this is not a renovation. It's a race against time, and the time right now seems to be winning by an innings and 200 runs. The Gaddafi Stadium. Let's talk about the Gaddafi Stadium. It's under the lights and a sight to behold. This is what PCB says. But you look at the videos that are coming in right now, it is very hard to ignore the rubble, the unfinished seats, and also the fact that the LED lights also haven't been tested properly. Karachi's National Stadium. Well, let's just say, it's a national embarrassment right now, not a stadium. Talking about what's happening. And Rawalpindi, which is another stadium, let's not even go there, literally, because it's not ready for anyone to go there. So let's talk about the stadiums in play, and also at the helm of it is the ICC, who's been watching this circus unfold like a confused umpire. In fact, one of the ICC top chairs also resigned, shockingly, because why would you expect anyone to stick around and try and explain why Pakistan's stadiums look like they've been hit by a googly, by Mother Nature herself? And let's not forget India. India backed out. India decided to play all their matches in Dubai. Now, they said that it is because of security reason, but now if you look at it, it looks like a smart move. Why would anyone risk stepping into Pakistani soil when you can enjoy the luxury of a finished, properly facilitated stadium in Dubai? Meanwhile, Pakistan's cricket fans are left wondering if they'll be watching cricket or a live episode of Extreme Makeover. Even as we count down to the tournament now, one question remains large. Will Pakistan pull off a miracle and ensure a world-class stadium for the Champions Trophy, or will we witness the first ever Champions Trophy played in stadiums that look worse than the Tier 2 stadiums in Ranji Trophy here in India? Joining us right now, Ranjit Bajaj, who's the founder, director of Minerva Cricket Academy, Vedam Jaishankar, sports analyst, Kamar Chema, who's a political analyst, will be joined by him, and Omar Altaf, also from Pakistan. I'm being told our Pakistan guests haven't joined. Not really surprising, Ranjit. You are involved in sports infrastructure. When you look at these videos now, PCB says that it's a world-class infrastructure. Sorry to say, it doesn't look like it.
Thank you so much for having me. I would like to say that Pakistan is very, very good, but very good in organizing. Organizing what? Organizing chaos. So they are masters of organizing chaos. And that's what they've done. They've organized chaos. Simple things like getting seats, bucket seats, because that bright idea came to them only 1 month before the tournament was supposed to start. The last time we were talking about, when we were talking about the trophy tour going on, that's when the contract was given out at that time for the bucket seats. And every day I used to see photographs of somebody, just four poor guys trying to put the bucket seats on. And it seems like it's a headless chicken. You know, it's a headless chicken with no brain, just running around the whole place. And this was expected in a country which cannot keep its own citizens safe, which we saw again a few months ago, where their own citizens were shot at by the police in a rally. And if they can't keep their own citizens safe, they definitely cannot be organizing a cricket match. And thank God we have decided, and we have put our foot down, and we have not gone. We've been proven right again that we are not to trust Pakistan.
Absolutely.
Forget about inter-border terrorism. They can't even organize a cricket match.
Absolutely. There's a reason why India hasn't gone. And Vedam, now I have a conspiracy theory. Tell me if you agree with it or not. India did not go to Pakistan because of security reasons. I think India did not go there because India wanted to play in better stadiums, at least stadiums that are finished, have proper arrangements. So I think that was the whole conspiracy hatched by the BCCI. Security was just a reason. What do you think?
Ashish, let me put it this way. If you had not mentioned that these were cricket stadiums, I would have thought that you're showing images of war-torn Beirut. Honestly, But suddenly you said these are cricket stadiums. I haven't seen anything like that. I have covered cricket in Pakistan, But what happens in Pakistan is they ensure that not too many spectators come. They ensure that. That's what they should have done here also. Because let's be honest, some of the best workmen that Pakistan has must be in the Middle East. The guys whom they're working with must be trainees or something like that. We saw what the US did with the Cricket World Cup. The pitches were made in Adelaide in Australia. They were shipped and they were kept in warm
Absolutely.
storerooms in Florida and then dropped in. And even the stands, they're actually for car racing stands from Los Angeles. They were dismantled and brought. They finished the tournament and it went back. Pakistan didn't want to do that. They kept talking about world class facilities. But if you want to have world class facilities, you should have world class workers, world class staff, and world class designs. And this should be done much, much in advance. Technically, these stadiums had to be handed over to ICC at least 1 month in advance. Now, Feb 19th is when the tournament is starting. ICC gave them a
Vedam,
sort of relaxed deadline saying
it's the
31st.
deadline is today. The deadline to hand over the stadiums, Vedam, you'll be surprised. The deadline to hand over the stadiums is today. And I'll ask my team to play out a video that the PCB had the goal to put out just a day before this entire thing happened. Now they say that this is a world-class infrastructure that we put up. And in that video, you see cranes still doing their job. You see concrete mixers still on the ground. So I don't know how a world-class stadium actually has all these things. Now we are playing that video out even as we speak.
Yeah, but what happens in this case is that 31st of January was an extended deadline, but actually it should have been given a month ago. They didn't do that. They asked for more
Absolutely.
time. Okay, the ICC gave them time till the 31st of Jan. Now look what has happened. You're not even willing to play warm-up matches there. Grounds are not ready for warm-up matches. So what they're finally now doing is South Africa, Bangladesh, which are already touring that part of the world, they're trying to play one match each in Karachi and Lahore. And like you said earlier, Rawalpindi, forget it. God knows when it's going to be ready, if at all. So I think the whole thing is in a mess. ICC has to take the blame. You can't keep on allowing these deadlines to pass on and on and on. They should have taken a hard stand maybe 6 months to 1 year ago and got things done. You can't keep on pulling it. And I wonder what would happen if these stadiums collapse or something goes wrong with the dressing room or the pitch itself. We don't even know how the pitches are. And let's be honest, these are workers. They are not going to sit quietly. They're going to drive the tractors all over the place. And that's the danger part for even the cricketers. So I think all in all, this is going to be a disastrous Champions Trophy. Even if the 11th hour they pull off something like they do in some of the
Absolutely.
marriage halls, 11th hour they come and work overnight.
But
and work
but Vedam,
but those are
but Vedam,
patchwork.
I
It's
mean,
not world
I
class.
wouldn't be surprised if Pakistan manages to pull off something. But again, Ranjit, I want your opinion on this. There's a difference between conducting a cricket match, having a cricket match, having the facility, and there's a difference between having a world-class facility. A tournament like the Champions Trophy deserves a world-class facility. And by the looks of it, it doesn't even look like a half-prepared stadium right now. We're playing the visuals out. You clearly see construction material still there. There's work still going on. I was speaking to a couple of Pakistani journalists and they said that they were not even allowed to inspect the stadium because the videos and the photos would go out. This is the state of infrastructure. What's the ICC doing?
As you can see, Ashish, you're right. So, as from your visuals and your video which you're playing, you can see from the outside when you see the stadium, it looks like a freshly constructed outside facade. And it's not even been painted. The concrete is still there. And there's no glass in the front facade. So, it's not a complete building. Now, I'd like to bring up a very pertinent point. When you give stadiums for completion, there's something known as a safety certificate, which is applied for from the civil body and the fire people and the police. Now, how do they happen? They actually have to conduct an event and have people in there, that same number who they're going to allow, 50,000, 30,000, and see if they can exit within 8 minutes, which is the time given for a safety venue to exit and totally empty if there's an emergency of any kinds. And can there be an emergency in Pakistan? Yes, there are bomb blasts every day, man. This is the perfect place for them to be doing this to make it an international stage. So is it safe? Forget about
Ranjit, it's very fascinating that you actually think the Pakistan Cricket Board thinks about exit strategy. That will be the least of their concern. You really think they're worried about the fans that would come to the stadium and they're actually worried about how quickly they'll leave the stadium?
Ashish, if you're like you said, it's not a mohalla match. It's a world-class match and supposed to be a world-class infrastructure hosting a world-class Champions Trophy, which is an ICC international event. So I would totally put the blame squarely on ICC. How can they even allot an event to a third world country? And that's exactly what I'm calling them. They're a third world country now. And the way the things are acting, I don't think even there's any chance of getting in to the organized and developed world in the next 50 years. There's totally organized chaos, as you can see right now in your visuals. Oh my God, it looks like a construction site which is yet to be
Absolutely.
completed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Vedam made a very interesting point here. Vedam said that if he hadn't mentioned that this is a cricket stadium, he wouldn't even know it. That's a cricket stadium. And Vedam, what's funny is that it's the PCB that has put out a video saying that world class infrastructure is ready. And in that same video, you see concrete mixers, you see cranes, you see multiple construction also happening right now. Yes, this is a video. This is the video that I'm talking about. So Vedam, clearly now the PCB is absolutely clueless.
Yeah, it's not just clueless. Even if you look at the opening ceremony, there's no opening ceremony because teams don't want to come. Australia doesn't want to
There's
come.
no opening ceremony.
England doesn't
Absolutely.
want to come. India doesn't want to come. So there's no opening ceremony. Can you believe it? You're having a world championship without an opening ceremony. This is unheard of. Maybe this is the first time ever that you're having a tournament without an opening ceremony. And they don't want to have a captain's shootout also. Not shootout, shooting ops also, because the captains are also not coming.
Vedam, that's a very risky thing to say when it comes to Pakistan. That's a very risky slip up that you're making. Let's not talk about shootouts and Pakistan in the same sentence.
I understand. But even the captains are not willing to come. Just the day before the tournament, people are landing up. And I think India has done Pakistan a great favor by not turning up there in Pakistan. Because
Absolutely.
with all this chaos, protecting
Absolutely.
the Indian team would have been a Herculean task. Now at least they can focus what they have to on this tournament and thank India for doing them the favor and try and at least salvage some pride and prestige out of conducting such a big tournament. If it doesn't go through properly, I think the ICC must put its foot down and blacklist them at least for the next 10 to 15 years. That would be the fair thing to do to the sponsors, to the broadcasters, and of course, all the cricket fans all over the world. That would be the right thing to do. And I hope ICC realizes that it has a responsibility, not just to the host, but a whole lot of stakeholders.
Absolutely.
And let's see how the ICC goes about it.
Absolutely, Vedam. I think this will go a long way in deciding how Pakistan is looked at in the future as a host, because I believe since 1996 it's the first proper tournament. It was supposed to be the first proper tournament that Pakistan was supposed to host on its soil, and now turns out they're making an absolute mess of it as well. And one only hopes that this is a cricket tournament, not a circus, that what it looks like as of now. But again, we'll see what really happens. Ranjit and Vedam, really appreciate you joining us on the broadcast here. It's been a very interesting discussion, looking at all the development activities and learning a lesson or two from the Pakistan Cricket Board as well. And on that note, viewers, it's a wrap on this edition of the broadcast. Lots more lineup on the other side. Stay tuned.